Welcome to the Razors Inc. podcast with your host, Jonathan Farini. From the time Al Jolson sang Mammy and the Jazz Singer in 1927, which synchronized dialogue to the action on screen, thus ending the silent era, to Star Wars, which 50 years later would revolutionize sound design, milestone achievements in movie sound have been few and far between. But in 2017, a modest heist film with an unbelievable cast changed how we might think about film and the sound that doesn't just accompany the action, it becomes a part of it. So pour yourself a drink, pull up a chair, and hear Jonathan's take on movies, television, and today, an explosive marriage of screen action and pulse-racing music. Here's your host, Jonathan Farini.
Let me start with a confession. Baby Driver should not be a movie I return to again and again. It's a heist film, a getaway driver, bank robberies, criminal crews. We've seen all of this before. In fact, done better, done grittier, done more seriously. And yet, I keep coming back to the movie Baby Driver. So the question is why? Let's get the facts out of the way first, because this film is deceptively well constructed behind the scenes. Baby Driver was written and directed by Edgar Wright. He's a filmmaker known for highly stylized, rhythm-driven movies like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. It was released in 2017, distributed by Sony Pictures, releasing it under its TriStar Pictures label. The budget was reportedly about $34 million, modest by Hollywood standards, but it grossed reportedly over $220 million worldwide, which should tell you something about it connecting with audiences. Critically, it did very well, around the high 90s on Rotten Tomatoes, if you use that as an indice of success. And it picked up 3 Academy Award nominations: Best Film Editing, Best Sound Mixing, Best Sound Editing.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy Bell Bottoms. Bell Bottoms.
Didn't win, but those nominations are telling, aren't they? This is a movie built on rhythm, sound, and precision. Remember that, rhythm, sound, and precision. Let's talk about the cast, because casting is always pivotal in films I discuss inside my podcasts. Because this is where it starts to get interesting. The lead is Ansel Elgort playing Baby, the driver. Before this, he was best known for young adult dramas like The Fault in Our Stars.
I thought we were in a church basement, but apparently we were literally in the heart of Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
What's your name?
Hazel.
And what's your full name?
Hazel Grace Lancaster. What?
I didn't say anything.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you're beautiful.
Oh my God.
I enjoy looking at beautiful people.
Yeah,
See, I decided a while back not to deny myself the simpler pleasures of existence, particularly, as you so astutely pointed out, we're all going to die pretty soon.
Not exactly the guy you'd expect to anchor a high-octane crime film. Sorry for the pun. It will become apparent as the podcast progresses. Then you've got Kevin Spacey as Doc, John Hamm as Buddy, Jamie Foxx as Bats, and Lily James as Deborah. And supporting players like John Bernthal and Isa Gonzalez. The casting directors were Francine Maisler and Kathy Driscoll Moeller, and they deserve real credit here. Because it's not just good casting, it's precise casting. And then there's a character who doesn't get top billing, but quietly holds the emotional center of the film together. Joseph, and that's Baby's deaf foster father, played by C.J. Jones. We'll come back to him because he's more important than he first appears. On the surface, it's a simple story, as I introduced the podcast. A young getaway driver indebted to a crime boss wants out. He meets a girl, he dreams of escape. One last job goes wrong. We've seen this structure in films like The Driver, Bullet, Heat. So again, why does this film feel different to me or to you? First, it's sound. The answer starts with something deeply personal. Sound. Baby has tinnitus, that constant ringing in his ears, so he listens to music constantly to drown it out. That detail does two things at once. It makes him vulnerable, but it gives him control. And here's the genius. The entire movie is choreographed to his music, his playlist. Check it out. Gunshots, footsteps, car doors, dialogue beats. Everything moves in rhythm. This isn't just a stylistic trick, it's storytelling. You're not watching the movie, you're inside his head. Get it? Now there's another layer. Silence. First we had sound, now we have silence. It ain't no accident. But this is where the film quietly, deepens. And this is the layer that elevates it beyond style. Joseph. Baby lives in a constant noise. Joseph lives in complete silence. He's played by C.J. Jones and is deaf, fully deaf. And that contrast, noise versus silence, is one of the most important ideas in the entire film. Because Baby doesn't just listen to music to be cool, he listens because he needs to. Joseph doesn't hear it all, and yet in many ways, he's the calmest, most grounded presence in the story. Let's talk about the character of Baby. He's not a typical action hero. He's quiet, observant, almost withdrawn, but he has near photographic memory, exceptional spatial awareness, and an extraordinary driving ability.
He's got tinnitus.
Tinna what?
He had an accident when he was a kid. He's still got a hum on the drum. Plays music to drown it out.
You never heard of the Spirit of '85?
The Joyrider?
Yeah. The ghost that baited cops doing 130 on 85. Headlights off, brake lights disconnected. He drove him around in circles on Spaghetti Junction. Left him in the dust every time. That was our boy there.
Wasn't that like 10 years ago?
Yeah, well, like I said, that was our boy. He's been boosting cars since he was old enough to see over the dash. He stole my Mercedes. Had a lot of merch in it. I watched him do it, too. I didn't stop him, though, because I was just blinded by the balls on that kid. Of course, he didn't know who I was or the worth of the junk in the trunk once he dumped it. But once I tracked him down, I made sure to tell him who I was, what I was capable of, and how much he owed me. And since he's been paying me back, he's also shown me what he's capable of.
His disability, that is, his hearing issue, is offset by his precision and control. But here's what completes him. He takes care of Joseph. He cooks for him, brings him groceries, looks after him. Why? Because Joseph took care of him first. We don't get long speeches about it, but we don't need them. You feel the history between them. And that relationship gives Baby something more heist protagonists don't have, a moral center. So why does this relationship matter, Jonathan? Without Joseph, Baby is just talented. With Joseph, he's responsible. He's not just trying to get out for himself. He's trying to protect something. That changes everything about the character. It gives weight to every decision he makes. It gives urgency to his desire to leave. And most importantly, it makes you care about him. Because audiences don't just connect to skill. They connect to care. Let's talk about why the casting works. This movie lives or dies on casting. Well, most movies do. But we're not talking about most movies. We're talking about Baby Driver. Take Kevin Spacey as Doc. He's cold, calculated, dangerous, but also oddly paternal.
What's his deal?
Baby? Full cut, same as everyone.
Doc. I mean, is he, retarded?
Retarded means slow. Was he slow?
No.
Then you don't sound retarded to me.
He's a good kid and devil behind the wheel. What the hell else more do you need to know?
So you don't think that there's something wrong with him just not saying anything?
There's nothing wrong with a little quiet.
He's controlled, polite. And then there's John Hamm. It ain't the character from Mad Men.
I was hoping I would catch you too. And here you are.
Identified 3 of the 4 robbers. The killed Monica Costello.
Monica. My darling. She was a good girl. I loved her. What about Deborah, baby? Is she a good girl? You love her?
Yes, I do.
That's too bad.
He brings an intensity that builds slowly. At first, he's charming, almost likable. Then something shifts, and when it does, it's terrifying. And Jamie Foxx's Bats, he's chaos, pure unpredictability.
What's in there is ours. It belongs to us. They took our money, our hard-earned paper. They snuck in when we were asleep last night and took the pants off the chair and emptied our wallets. They got what's rightfully ours. Let's go get it back. What's rightfully ours.
Every scene he's in feels dangerous because you don't know what he'll do. And then in quiet contrast, you have Joseph, still calm, grounded. That contrast sharpens everything. There's a post office scene, and even the minor roles, like the clerk at the post office, feel real, grounded.
Stamps?
That your boy?
Sure. Yeah, he sure is.
How old is he?
4.
8.
They grow up so freaking fast, don't they?
Does he have a name?
You have a name, don't you?
Sam.
Well, Sam, I got a mint with your name on it.
You have a mint that says Sam?
Oh, sweet.
Are you here tomorrow?
Sure am. Working 9 to 5, just like Dolly.
Oh, Dolly Parton. Yeah. I like her.
Who doesn't? Everybody wants happiness, nobody wants pain. But you can't have a rainbow without a little rain. Wise lady.
Yeah, she sure is.
Bye.
And then there's Deborah, played by Lily James. She's not overly complex, but she doesn't need to be.
Know what you want?
Your name?
Well, you can get that for free. It's Debbie. Deborah.
I'll bet the song.
The Beck one? Yeah. Except I'm Debora, and I think that's just Debra.
I don't know that one.
Oh, it goes, I met you, J.C. Penney. I think your name tag said Jenny.
Jenny?
The song's about him wanting to get with Jenny and her sister, too, whose name is Deborah. So it's not even really about me, it's about the sister. My sister's name is Mary. She has got all the songs. Mary, Mary, where are you going to? Proud Mary, keep on burning. The wind cries Mary. She's got me beat. Again. She's got endless songs. I got one.
I believe she represents escape, a simplicity, a different life. And crucially, she believes in baby, just like Joseph does. So the question we have to ask is, why does the film work so emotionally, at least for this podcaster? Because it's not about the heist. It's about identity and escape, in my opinion. Baby isn't trying to win. He's trying to leave. And now we can say more precisely, he's trying to leave the noise, to protect Joseph, to build something quiet and real. Compare that to something like the movie Heat, where the characters are defined by obsession. Baby is defined by longing and responsibility. Another reason this movie works so well for me is discipline. Edgar Wright reportedly storyboarded and timed entire sequences to music before filming. That's rare. Most movies add music after the fact. Here, in my opinion, the music is the skeleton of the film. Watch how the movie shifts. First act, it's playful, stylish, almost fun. The second act, the tension builds. And in the third act, the consequences hit really hard. It sneaks up on you because beneath the rhythm, something real is at stake. There's some bookend films to Baby Driver you should be aware of. Classic car heist films like Bullet and The French Connection, and modern crime and character studies like Drive and Heat. But Baby Driver adds something new. Musical structure tied to subjective experience and grounded by human connection. That's why I keep coming back, and maybe you do too. I didn't see the movie in a theater. I found it later on a late night movie channel, but I returned to it over and over. That's telling. This isn't just spectacle, it's repeatable, because the rhythm pulls me in and the relationships keep me there, especially the quiet one between Baby and Joseph. Even the title matters.
They call me Baby Driver, and once upon a pair of wheels on the road and on. What's my number? I wonder how your engines feel. Scoot down the road. What's my number? I wonder how your engines feel.
Baby Driver comes from the song Baby Driver by Simon and Garfunkel. Again, music is not decoration. It's DNA inside this movie. There's a secret sauce inside this film, and it's a combination of the following. Constraint. Listen, it's a simple story, tightly told. But there's a rhythm. Everything is aligned to music. And great casting. Not just good actors, the correct actors. And there's a point of view. You experience the world through Baby's senses. And then there's a beautiful emotional core. A young man trying to escape a life he didn't choose and protect the one person who made him who he is. Why it resonates? Well, at a deeper level, the movie taps into something universal inside me, and I believe everybody that enjoys the movie. And I believe it's the idea that you have a talent, but you're stuck in the wrong life. And you're trying to get out clean. But it adds something else. That you're not just leaving for yourself, you're leaving for the people you care about. A final thought. Yeah, Baby Driver is just a heist movie. But underneath it, it's about control versus chaos, noise versus silence, entrapment versus escape. And at the center of it all is a quiet relationship between a young man and the person who raised him. A man who cannot hear and a young man who cannot escape sound. And somehow between these two extremes, the film finds its balance. Get it? That's why it works. That's why I return to it. Maybe that's why you return to it. And that's why a movie that shouldn't matter somehow does. Until I see you next time, please leave behind a soft footprint. And class is dismissed.
And I'd like to think that if the Oscars ever got to have a redo, they'd look hard at the win of several of those Oscars by the movie Dunkirk in 2018. Fine film, mind you, and mixing sound for a war film is no walk in the park. But a second or third viewing of Baby Driver will make any viewer realize just what an extraordinary achievement in sound that Baby Driver was. You've been listening to the Razors Inc. podcast with Jonathan Farini. Be sure to check out Jonathan's collection of fiction at jonathanfarini.com. Also, look for Jonathan's short story, The Blue Binder, in which a tattered blue binder reveals a mind that sees pathways that no one else can. The Blue Binder, already published in Infinity Wanderers and the June edition of Modern Literature, it's been published again in On the Beach, the July edition of CC&D magazine. Look for it at scars.tv or at jonathanfarini.com. You can also drop an email anytime to razorsincpodcast@gmail.com.